I'm not. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. This is the Nifty Alpha. I'm Pio. I'm here with my partner, Nifty Nick. How's it going, Nick?
It's going very well, Pio. You just
Good to-
provided me some information that I'm very excited about to find out. You left me a cliffhanger before we started this. And so now I'm just waiting to find out what that is. And this is going to disrupt the entire show.
Well, yeah, so check it out. So I literally found out about this like 1 minute ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to share my screen here onto Twitter. So check this out. So it seems that Snoop Dogg, this could be, I don't know. I guess this is real. Like, I don't know why it would not be real, but like Snoop Dogg tweeted this: I am this guy. Have you seen this Twitter profile?
This is bullshit. Yeah. So you're talking about the meme from last week. There's no way.
That's what I thought too.
There's no way.
It's just a big fat joke. So there you go. So
I
don't know.
I could see them being friends with that person, but this person has what did they start at? What did Cozomo Medici start their follower at last week? For people who haven't seen that, right? Like the context of this was, is this the person who set off the entire meme last week, where he was like, if my Twitter follower hits 15,000 by Monday, I will reveal myself. And then a bunch of people followed suit. But all the people that followed suit, you kind of actually wanted to know, but there was no way they were going to hit their Twitter numbers, or they were just full of shit.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I just saw that break. I figured it might be bullshit. I wanted to get your take on it. I think calling it bullshit is fair, and Snoop's just probably being funny. I don't know, but oh my god, my camera went out. All right, well let's continue. Let's continue.
Wait, hold on. How does your camera just go out? Are you gonna turn it off, and turn it on, and it's only gonna work again?
Dude, let's put it this way. I hope so. I might be silent Steven for the rest of this. Excuse me,
hilarious.
No video Victor for the rest of this. Dude, my camera just decides it wants to die randomly.
This is the Nifty Nick show. I don't know who this dude Pio is, but it's definitely me. And this show is all about NFTs, by the way. Nothing about the fact that Pio's camera doesn't work. And the show's certainly not about Snoop Dogg being some random other internet user who he's probably friends with, over Twitter DMs or whatever the hell it is. And who the hell, the irony of this whole thing, while you're figuring out your camera situation, is oh my God, is this your backup camera?
This is the laptop camera. This sucks. There's no point in me being on camera. Look, the actual camera's just busted.
Damn, you got a nice teleprompter there, though.
Yeah, the setup's no joke, but it's not fun when the camera just decides, oh, check it out, bro, I'm not gonna work. But anyway, so we're losing viewers as we ramble here. So what were you gonna kind of say about Snoop?
It's actually a good thing that I can't see the numbers, because I don't give a crap. So let's talk about the actual NFT situation, which is what we were going to discuss moving into this show. And let's set the context for what this is. This was originally intended to be a live stream on YouTube for our new YouTube channel, the Nifty Alpha. However, YouTube is not prepared to support us as streaming today, yet we want to stay committed to the cause of us doing the live stream. This is the video component of our Twitter Spaces that we do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And so that's what this show is all about. And in 45 minutes or less, we'll be discussing the NFT subjects of the day. And one of the things that we definitely discussed us wanting which already we began discussing on Twitter Spaces, but we wanted to continue the dialogue here, was Creature World. Also, we were hoping that Speculator Art, Sophisticated Art Speculator, would potentially join. We'll see if that actually goes down. But the first thing that we were discussing was Creature World, which is obviously blowing up at the moment. I had a conversation with the creator behind this at 0.9, and he was like, you definitely want to get in this. And I was like, every single time I've spoken with a creator and they've really pitched, or haven't even pitched me. They asked me to buy in, basically. I've said no. And then I've watched the price of all the things that I said no to appreciate. So I said, I'm never going to do that again. Since then, it's gone up to 1.4 as the floor. And I will say, though, on this, much of the action, and I've felt it myself, I don't buy most of these floor items, the cheapest ones, actually, because they all look the same. And most of the buys, I almost bought 2 today, additional ones. All of the action is not on these bottom ones. So if you scroll down, sorry to distract you from getting your camera to work, but it's cool. You can start with lower quality video, and then that on the next episode, they're going to be like, holy shit, wow, what a camera.
I'm devastated right now. Like, I'm literally going through an internal struggle that might break me throughout this 45-minute stream. But yes, let's continue talking about Creature World. Yes, the floor is not as popular.
Yeah. So that first one with the circle, you can even scroll down further. And so okay, there, down this one with the rain and that background. So like the one on the right, or the next one down. If I'm buying one, I'm going after those because there's something else in the background. The other one with the circles down there, 1.5. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what's the difference between 1.4 and 1.5? I'll answer that. It's 0.1. And that is
which is not much. It's not much to step up like that, you know?
No, it feels small, but ironically, some of these other ones, I'm like, oh, this went from 0.1 to 0.2. I'm not going to buy that anymore. That doesn't make any sense. But it's funny at the higher end. But yeah, so Creatures is one that they're going to have an airdrop, is what it sounds like is going to go down this week, based on the dialogue in the Discord. And I don't know. It also the creator, Danny Cole, he had said, although it's not Danny Cole, it's Danny.
No, it's Danny Cole.
Okay, you're correct. Yeah. It's Danny Cole. So yeah. He hasn't responded to my text message, but when I was chatting with him, it sounded like really promising, what he was describing. He was like, I've never seen anyone do what this is in the space. And so I'm really excited to find out what it is. And frankly, I think whatever that is really going to set, wow, that one with the green blades, I will say right there, is actually pretty rare looking. I haven't seen that before. But yeah, so I actually think whatever he reveals, if he ends up doing something that people are just like, holy shit, I think it brings it to a new level, because I compare this with when you look at, oh, there's another one there's 3 with those blades. So what I felt was rare is not
looks
at all.
Rare. Looks rare.
But what I think is going to happen is, like, I look at a Lazy Lions, or I look at one of these other things, basically, where it's like, okay, like, I don't know if the team even planned on executing behind, like, beyond the original profile photo, and people just like picked up on it. I don't know enough about Lazy Lions, to be completely honest, but I do know that, like, a lot of these PFPs, people aren't creating value. But in the case of Creatures, I feel like this guy is so committed, and ultimately the ones that end up being worth a lot are the ones which rise to the top, which deliver value to their community. And Danny, from the sounds of it, when I spoke to him, I was like, oh shit, like this guy is that. Like, this guy is that guy. And speaking with him, it really, like, you can just talk with him and immediately that this guy is one of those people. I had Justin Aversano on early on my podcast, and I remember he had he was like, hey man, buy my thing for 0.5. I think the minimum is like 100 ETH right now. Yeah. And so I definitely missed out on that one. But like, you can tell the conviction that someone has in their project and is willing to commit. And that's something that I see with Danny as it applies to Creature World.
Yeah, I couldn't be more bullish on Creature World. Obviously, I'm kicking myself because when it was pumping at 0.3 ETH, I didn't buy it. I actually don't 100% know what the hell was going on in my mind and why I didn't buy it, but I didn't. But I couldn't be more bullish because, first of all, it's a completely original art style that is actually his art style. Like, this is his thing. It's totally original. He's making this whole world around the creature character. And I think I can't wait to have my socks knocked off by whatever is coming now that I'm an owner.
Well, here's the main thing. He doesn't even create it. So like Damien Hirst, who doesn't create his art, Danny has a team that's creating all these different things, basically. Now, he may have created the original doodles or something like that that led to this happening, but he has an entire team dedicated to this specific project, basically. And the fact that he has a whole team is just like, oh, like this dude is legit and actually going to build something. It's sort of shocking because I think he's 18 or 19.
21.
Okay, 21. Same. So in terms of
it is the same thing.
I mean, Ferocious is 18 or 19. Yeah. I think, you know, it's interesting to see some of these younger creators going and build this. But on the flip side, I'm like, damn, like that guy has a decade. He's still going to be under 30. So he can like grind this out for the next decade and build some incredible shit and still not be exhausted, basically. Like that's my main hot take from it. And I'm just like, and he's executing. So, and has demonstrated that because apparently he was everyone kept saying he's in MoMA. So I'm assuming that that's the case.
Yeah, I think he was literally in MoMA, which I should have. Dude, I can't believe I didn't buy right away, but I'm glad I'm in now. I will probably double down on this project. Like, you have to think about it, right? There seemed to be some really creative thing. That game that Nick was talking about, that Sophisticated Art Speculator was talking about, that sounded like a really original take in the NFT space that nobody's done yet. The fact that this, I just like the idea that his art that was featured in MoMA, his original doodle creation, whatever you want to call it, has now been, imported into the NFT space. Like, he saw it. He understood that you can do a 10,000 piece profile picture project rather than responding to the NFT space as, I need to do one of ones, or I need to do something like that, which I think he did do other projects, but just the fact that he executed on a 10,000 piece profile picture project that works so well, and he's now going to do this airdrop, and he seems to be building out the creature world. I'm so excited. The one thing that I'm thinking about right now, it actually kind of works out perfectly, is I think I might be able to sell one of my Rare Pepes that I have 8 of for 1.4 ETH right now. Like, I think that's the current price that it's going for right now on the market. So that was what I wanted to talk to you and Nick about the whole undercutting situation, because I think it might be a good idea for me to sell 1 out of those 8. So I'd still have 7 remaining, and then put that into this, so I have a second one.
I'm definitely considering getting a second one. I had multiple tabs open and then realized that I had to do work today.
Right.
But as I mentioned on the show this morning, I considered getting 4 more of them, and I'm still seriously considering that. My issue is it's difficult once you tie up all of your ETH. The next opportunity is going to come across,
escape you.
So at least one more is where I'm at with it. In terms of your trading strategy, ultimately that's a difficult thing. Anything that you're in is always going to be, partially like this is a high opportunity cost space, especially at the moment right now. So anything that you're doing is like high opportunity cost. So it's difficult to say. If you have 6 of something and it's already appreciated, then you might as well sell on the way up and, go in. And now on the flip side, if you have a rare Pepe that is truly rare and you know that this has a major opportunity, then it may be worthwhile. Okay.
This is my Pepe. Yeah, I sold 1 at this is it. This is my retirement plan right here. This is it's 1 out of 111, but it is later.
Rare.
It is rare. It is later series, and there was a little bit of a run on this particular Pepe in the past 24 hours. So it's 1 out of 111. I have it listed at 2 ETH right now. If you look, I'm basically being undercut by a few scoundrels that are trying to get rid of it for, it looks like now 1.389. They're really showing no respect to the Pepe. So yeah, so we have, oh my goodness. So look at all this. We have several people at 1.389, 1.39, 1.5, 1.5, then 1 point, and then it gets to me at 2. So there's 4 between 1 and 2 people that are trying to get rid of it. There's 1 confirmed sale at, I want to say, 1 ETH. So, I'm in this situation where I have 8 of these, and I just wonder, should I liquidate one for like 1.2 or 1.3 ETH, still hold 7, but deploy that ETH into something like another creature world, which I just couldn't be more bullish on, and I think could potentially be like the next Damien Hirst or something like that.
The next Damien Hirst. You think this is you're saying you want the liquidity so that you can invest. Okay, got it. So
no, I don't think that this one random rare Pepe is the next Damien Hirst.
I mean, I'm actually shocked you have this many in there. Like, this is something you've been doing a ton of research and you've gone deep down this rabbit hole. So, what's
those weren't all mine. I have 1 listed on here. Those were other people's Pepes.
Yeah, but you just said that you have 7 or 8 of them.
I have 8 of that particular Pepe, and then, for example, this Pepe has sold for 2 ETH in the past 24 hours, and I have 1 of these. I wonder what the floor is on it now. I mean, we could just spend the whole 40.
It's cut off, but oh, there you go.
So, like, look, this one sold for 1.95. So the floor on it is 1.7. There was a 2 ETH sale in the past 24 hours. So yeah, I mean, I got the goods when it comes to the Pepes, but best stuff, not the crazy $20,000, $40,000 sale, $500,000 sale. But I have a bag of Pepes that will yield me. I mean, if I liquidate it, even right now, we're talking about probably at least 1 ETH per Pepe, no exaggeration.
So, well, that's awesome. Congratulations. But I think that, as prices go up of different collections, the basically even middle rarity sells at the floor, basically. So like I have a Bored Ape or 2 Bored Apes that are middle Bored Apes. I think that they're great. But in general, most people aren't shopping. Like either they're shopping at floor or they're looking for top 15% or something like that, basically. So you have to be in one of those 2 categories. When you fall below that and you're somewhere in the middle, it's harder. There's lower liquidity and there's lower demand in general. Now, this is a hard thing to look at, and people used to make a joke about rare Pepes, and be and the prices of rare Pepes. There's been many memes made about these memes, essentially memes of memes and memes. Sort of in this picture, you have many Pepes, but I think that like how many are there?
There's a lot, but there's a lot of them that have low supply counts. So I'm taking you to Rare Pepe Wallet right now, so I can hit you with the real deal goods, where I just got like some serious action on these different Pepes. Okay, so the Pepes that I've bought in the past few days, I bought this Grand Theft Auto Pepe right here that I'm really happy about. This one right here. So I don't know if you can see it. The back to you can't see it. There's a Back to the Future Pepe right here that Restream isn't letting me access. And that one was supposed to be 2,000 issuance, but I believe about 1,800 got burned. And so that's another one. And then I have another Pepe that has 250 issuance. So I don't know if all of these would sell for 1 ETH, but what's so funny?
I think just the whole thing is so ludicrous. Like this is where it's come to. This is where it's gone. I got into this being like, oh, interesting. CryptoPunks are worth a lot. And someone was like, you definitely want to get art blocks. And I'm like, okay, let me get some art blocks. And then I see like people talking about Bored Apes. And I'm like, okay, I'll get some Bored Apes. Now, I don't say that because the trade is bad, but like this is ludicrous. Like the whole thing, you got to sort of laugh at the existence of it. You're playing this is a trading card of a Pepe. So I mean, this is Like someone just randomly made that, like just came up with that idea and sold it. So who's the creator of this individual thing?
There's a lot of different artists. So, I mean, I could look up the specific artist for Grand Theft Auto Pepe, and quite frankly, I probably should. By the way, my camera's back, so I'm very happy about that.
I see it.
And yeah, I mean, the Rare Pepe thing, it's similar to curio cards. And when you and I talked about curio cards, I think that you kind of let me know that you didn't like necessarily the piece of history part of curio cards. You're like, what does this represent to me? And I've heard other people say that too. But I'm the type of person, I really like it when things are vintage. I like it when things have historical value. I think Rare Pepes absolutely fall into that category. I think that curio cards fall into that category. So then I think that historical meaning sort of informs the way that I perceive the aesthetic. And a lot of people are like, I don't like the curio cards, they look like shit. I think because I know what they are and where they came from and what they mean, it makes the aesthetic feel better to me. So I'm like, I actually really like the aesthetic, and I like the aesthetic of these like cheap looking Rare Pepe cards too. So for me, the Pepes actually have like a special place, and I think I'll liquidate most of. I'll always keep one of that Pepe that I have 8 of, but I will like sell the hell out of those, and maybe I'll make a big sale on like the Back to the Future Pepe or something like that as things really really heat up. But I see myself sitting on the Pepes for the long term, to be honest.
I love it. Uh, I mean, it's a bold move, but you were right. So a couple of weeks ago, you were like, you got to get on Rare Pepes. You got to get on Rare Pepes. And then now Vincent Van Doe's been talking about Rare Pepes. So you do have it going on at the moment as it applies to Rare Pepe. You had the timing right. You know, something that I think about though simultaneously is this space, and this is my overall concern. This space is going to get insanely saturated, even more saturated as it applies to this space. Now, there's a limited number of people who are spending millions of dollars in this space right now. We can like literally name them, but I think that there's a broader sort of like there's a whole tsunami of people coming, and they're all going to be creating stuff, and a lot of them are very talented. Many of them are very good at marketing as well. And so the initial hurdle was being like, what is this NFT thing? How do I create stuff for this? What sort of things do people collect and make it valuable, and like versus like speculative versus not speculative? And this space, including curio, to me feels like something that's not well, the whole space feels speculative. For me to say that it's rational that even my bored ape is worth over 100 grand each is stupid. But
Right.
I think that speculative bubbles are just that, they're bubbles. And so you want to be careful getting stuck in a speculative bubble versus owning something that's going to stand the test of time. And that's the thing where, while there's a lot of people telling you that these things are going to stand the test of time, I didn't know who the hell those people were more than 6 months ago. And so like, and I see a lot of new people flocking to the space, creating their own communities, becoming their own influencers around NFTs, completely unrelated from Ethereum, oftentimes completely unrelated from, they have no context of the backstory of NFTs. So they don't even care about it, yet they're getting involved with it and prices are going up for them. So I think that we're going to see a lot of people, sort of operate off of this mainstream line of NFTs that began years ago, but really exploded at the beginning of this year. And it's going to become universal. And I think the same thing exists in social media today, where like right now you're an NFT influencer. It's going to become, it moves back towards where it had become, is like you're just an influencer. Like everyone, it is in the social media space, it's on different subjects. So there's going to be fitness NFTs. There's going to be, modeling NFTs. There's going to be like, I'm just thinking of Instagram. I don't know what sort of content is on
Right.
there, but yeah.
You'll just be an influencer because NFTs will be so ingrained in everything, right? But it's like there will be NFT trading influencers, right? There will be NFT art influencers, things like that. But I agree with you where like you're just getting people that are influencers, that really people that just have a social media skill set, right? There's people in the NFT space right now that have a robust social media skill set. They've been doing social media for 6 years, 7 years, building followings and monetizing those followings. That's what they do. It is an art form. It is a career path. It's what people do. And the opportunity of NFTs, the heat, the degree to which the NFT space is hot has led these influencers to the space, and thus they're getting involved. One closing thought on these Pepes, and then we can move on to another project, is the reason it's easy for me to sort of say that I'm going to sit on them is that I am going to sell at least one or two more of these. My cost basis for this particular one that I have 8 of, at one point I had 10 of them, is 0.035 per.
Wow.
So I'm selling these. Yeah. So like I have this listed. I just lowered the price while we were on stream. It was listed at 2 ETH, but I'm sick of these fools undercutting me. So I'm just undercutting them. So I just undercut them to 1.25. So if I get 1.25
From what?
From
What,
2.
What the hell? Why did he go down to 1.25?
So I could undercut the people that are undercutting me. And so if I sell this at 1.25, I had a 0.035 cost basis on it. And I set a new
why
price.
1.25 and not 1.5?
Because they're at like 1.3.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm undercutting them. Yeah, I'm undercutting them big time. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make a big play here. This will be basically a 100% profit, right? 0.035 ETH turns into 1.25 ETH. And that's almost directly enough for me to get a pretty good creature world. If I then move like one other NFT that's like not so good, boom, creature world in the bag, second one. And that's just like a big come up. So that's my closing thought on this. You just saw me go live, lower this to 1.25, and we'll have to see what comes of it. I mean, that's a $3,800 sale. That sounds pretty good to me, and that's on a day where ETH is down.
I mean, it's an interesting play. You just dropped it big time. I mean, that's a huge drop. I think sometimes patience does yield rewards. My only other comment on this is like after taxes, that's 0.7. So that's what you got after taxes. Now
I'm going to have a lot of stuff to write off. Okay. My taxes are going to be okay.
I definitely have some losses as well. So I'm hoping that those end up offsetting a lot of the gains that I had. Not completely, obviously, but I've cashed money out for it. But yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I just think it's funny. The Rare Pepe scene is definitely a scene. I was just suggesting that like there will be Rare Pepe trading influencers just from that standpoint. Is like you could go all the way down that path. And that's where I think there could be a new generation of Rare Pepes that get issued while this is hot. That would be like my strategy.
They're going to issue like 10 more cards or something like that. I don't have all the details. The Rare Pepe community, if they're watching, they're going to cancel me for this because I don't know these details. But there's like X number of slots that are still available for like the final cards, and that's going to be obviously crazy. I think one is reserved for the creator of Pepe, Matt Fury, I think his name is. So that'll be interesting, and we'll have to see who else gets the spot.
You think his name is? My
is
gosh, yeah, it is. But like, you're like all in on this thing, and you don't know Matt Fury. Come on, man.
But he's not the creator of Rare Pepes. He's creator of the Pepe.
Okay.
And to be honest, yeah, some people have a problem. Anyway, we don't have to get into that. I'm looking at the top projects right now on OpenSea, and we have some new names on here. We have Sneaky Vampire Syndicate. We have Galaxy.
You know where else you can actually get that data, right?
Is on the Nifty.com.
Is the Nifty.com including that data? It is. It literally is. So CryptoPunks are back up at number 1. That's what they're saying?
It looks like that's what they're saying, which is pretty gnarly. And there's a 60% increase in the 7-day sales, which is pretty gnarly. I'm trying to get this on screen. Bear with me, people in the audience.
I'm missing some data then because that actually is showing up different to me. Although it's not rolling 24 hours. What's that time period that you're looking at?
The 7-day is 59.4%.
It's 7 days.
Yes.
So got it. I'm looking at 24 hours. That's where I was, why this data is wrong.
Okay, 24 hours, it's saying up 151.42%.
No. But I'm saying at the top of this, you can actually drop down a filter to look at volume. 7-day volume is so that's gonna cupcake should be up at top.
Yeah, this is 24 hours.
There it
This is
is.
Cupcake.
Cupcats official,
Cupcats.
anonymized. Damn. And I'm looking at this, and it's exactly what's showing up on the nifty.com. Check it out, the nifty.com. It's free data that you can access there. So what are you trying to access from this page?
I just wanted to see what's interesting. Like we talked about Galaxy Eggs, Cupcats, and Anonymized today on our Twitter space, the Nifty Morning Alpha. Have you paid close attention to any of these three, and have you gotten in or out of any of them?
No.
Well, we're not doing a good job of our stream if we just don't know what we're talking about.
Wait, are they in the subject, the title of this video?
They're not. They're not. So
what
I don't
is the
think
title of this video, by the way? Maybe we should get back to the topic of the video. What
we just talked about Pepe's. The name of the video is Pepe's Creature World and an Ethereum Pullback.
Okay, well, why don't we hit the last one since we have 15 minutes left?
15 minutes to talk about an Ethereum pullback and the impact of it on the NFT space. I mean, we can even probably drop the screen share and just go at it. So, I mean, I feel like the NFT space has responded like relatively, like in the way that we expected it to. Would that be fair to say?
What? I don't even know what that means. The Ethereum space has responded as we've
the
expected
NFT
to
space.
of these numbers dropping. The NFT space, well, actually, there's two things that I would, I don't think it lets me, does it let me share screen?
Yeah, you can just, you can share your screen, yeah.
So let's see if this actually works out. So I'm going to go with the, well, there's two things. First up, let's see if it'll let me, unable to share the screen, update system permissions. So it doesn't allow me to do that.
This software is on my last nerve, but go ahead. Sorry.
But so I actually know what I can do with this. So while we're talking, I'll update the security permissions so that it actually gives me the ability to do this. That said, so what we were discussing is, I think as it applies to your question was, how are they reacting the same? There's two aspects of it. So it's going to force me to restart Chrome, and I'm not doing that in the middle of a stream. But let's see if this actually lets me do this. Bam. Can you see my trading view?
Yeah, let's go.
Now don't hate because on a number of the fact that I'm actually opening this up is ridiculous because it shows the garbage stuff that I'm putting in here.
TA.
So there's two things that I'm looking at here. And I want to get into how the NFT space is operating. I have something else that I can share real quick. But it dumped, it's coming back up. But when we were on a space last time, we were talking about this spike down. This happened like instantly. This just like drop out of nowhere. And Nick was considering getting back in. And I said, dude, it always retests those spike downs like that. The major ones always come back to retest, and it doesn't immediately retest. Sometimes you got to bounce up like this. And had you traded from here to there, you would have made a nice bag. That said, anytime these sorts of things like this is what I'm looking at, this is a major drop down, and this area here looks like support. So I'm looking for 2,900 is the next thing that I'm looking at for this to double touch at least before we get any validation of it. So that's one of the things. So I just wanted to discuss that for a moment, which is what I'm looking at. And, the rest of these are all in. I mean, this is just ugly. This one, though, on the Bitcoin side of things, it actually looks more like this is a support area historically from Bitcoin right at this line right here. And so that's where I'm interested in seeing, hey, can that line hold the support? Because generally as Bitcoin goes, so too the rest of the space. So that's what I'm looking for on that front. I'm going to stop sharing from that item. There's only one other item that I could share, which is the question that you just had, which is, how did this actually, can you see my screen?
Yep.
So initially, it had reacted positively. We saw an increase in the Nifty index, and I'm going to expose more data about what this is, which quote unquote blue chip NFTs this is. But it took a dump later in the day, and so these projects. This is the median sale price of these different projects that are included, and the ones that you would expect to be included are in there: Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, Cool Cats. Some of the bigger ones that are in there, I think I had World of Women I included. Sup Ducks, I think may actually be in there. So it's actually interesting that there's only 20 because there you go. It now goes down to 100. It's an interesting. I just found a bug while we were doing that, which is great. So thanks for going through this process. But yeah, so some of those key ones are in here. I don't have all of them. Mutant Ape Yacht Club might be in there. CyberKong's definitely in there. Punk's Comic definitely in there. So those are some of the components that go into that number. V Friends definitely included. So I have a couple of these items that are sort of blue chip items. I have in art blocks. I have a couple art blocks that are in here, primarily squiggles, which could be influencing this. But that's what this is tracking over time is the median sale price of these. This is not using the floor price. This is just using actual information in the market. And so, yeah, it's starting to dip down some. I think it's difficult, when you see high volatility in the space. I'm going to stop sharing this. When you see high volatility in the space, it increases the cost of trading NFTs. And so a lot of people will reduce their prices to get liquidity to make other trades that they want to. And you have to incentivize that by reducing the cost even further so that people can eat those gas prices. So that's generally how I see what's going on here. But the price slowing down is great for the NFT space, frankly. And so we want to see that just slow and steady bear to occur. That's always great. Slow and steady is what you're looking for. You don't want a lot of volatility.
Well, I think that we are going to get volatility to the upside in the next month and a half. I think October might have some real fireworks, like crazy fireworks, and we'll have to see how bad we all get wrecked when that happens, because it's totally possible that it's going to happen. I definitely, I'm taking a look at my portfolio, and I'm looking at where I want to take profits. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for me with some of the projects that I speculated on and have held. Things like Deadfellas, which I talked about on our stream today. Things like Wicked Ape Bone Club, which I don't think I talked about on our stream today, but is making a bit of a comeback, and at a cost basis of 0.07 ETH, to have the floor be at 0.4, to have received an airdrop of a free Wicked Ape, a Wicked Hound, and having that be at 0.06. I'm definitely pleased with the fact that I've held up that one, even though at one point the floor was steady at 0.8 ETH, and watching it drop all the way down to sub 0.2 is not a fun thing to do when that's the situation. But between that, the Pepes that I have, and then a project that I really, really, really believe in, Creature World, that you also own and Sophisticated Art Speculator also owns. I like where I'm at, but it is a scary feeling knowing that we're so dependent on what ETH does, what the Bitcoin market does. The other thing that I think is interesting that we haven't talked about is I've studied Nifty Gateway very closely. If anything, I got onboarded to NFTs through Nifty Gateway, and I have a lot of experience watching that on a day-to-day basis. If I pull up Nifty Gateway right now and look at the prices, my prediction is that the prices are down, and what a surprise they are. So when ETH and Bitcoin go down, Nifty Gateway also goes down. I think because it's priced in USD versus being priced in Ethereum. And so that's an interesting dynamic. So don't be surprised if the Nifty Gateway market absolutely rips if there's, big time moves to the upside by ETH and by Bitcoin.
Most definitely. Yeah. And I think, well, the drops that you're talking about, Bored Ape Yacht Club went through. It's difficult for me with Wicked Ape Bone Club to categorize that as the same thing, simply because it's a
It's not.
derivative of Bored Ape
Yeah.
Yacht Club. However, it has been interesting to observe. What is Captain 8 mode? That's on Nifty Gateway?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Jose Delbo. So Jose Delbo, you know who that is?
Yeah,
He is
well-known
the
artist.
Yeah, he's a well-known artist that does comic book stuff. So it looks like he's done an ape derivative right here. So those tend to do pretty well. The thing is I get apprehensive in buying on this platform these days, just because of how sort of illiquid it can be. It looks like one person 34 minutes ago swept the floor on this, bought quite a few of them. It looks like this has been selling fairly well. There's a solid amount of sales in the past 24 hours on this one. I don't know much about the project though.
Interesting. So that's fascinating. Just absolutely fascinating. I mean, can you believe someone came in, swept the floor on Nifty Gateway, and I'm making a meta observation of our own conversation, which I don't know why I do this every single time, but it's one that just to me is like to poke fun at the absurdity of this entire space as a whole, because it's just ludicrous, right? Like we're trading JPEGs, and I'm looking at this thing. Even the fact, like it makes even the ape like the ape looks ridiculous, and it's just a bored ape. Although it looks like the bored ape did the ape always have that eye. That one doesn't look like normal, and it also has a stronger border around the outside of it. But I don't think that I've seen those eyes on bored apes before.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a touch from Jose. I'm bullish on ape derivatives in general. Like if you look at my wallet, I own Bored Ape Comic, I own Jenkins the Valet, and I just like the idea that those are possible because of the intellectual property deal that comes with a Bored Ape. And I like the idea of really building and people that are buyers in the NFT space becoming creators through a buy that they made, because I don't really know of very many instances that was possible before this very unique NFT technology and NFT, just space. So that's where I'm at with apes. I like the ape derivatives a lot. I want to buy the Walk Walk Island derivative. Are you familiar with that one, Jason Safe?
No.
Oh, you come on, Nick. I got you sleeping here, man. You're definitely sleeping. And there's one that's coming out tomorrow, I want to say.
Let us be clear. There's a lot of things that I don't know. So many people do expect that, I know everything, but it turns out that I don't, including in the NFT space. I am very knowledgeable, but there's a lot of activity going on.
Well, I figured that you just knew everything because you're just so damn smart. And so, the Walk Walk
Thank you.
Island, the Walk Walk Island, check this out. 1.4 ETH floor, it looks like. How's that?
Oh, snap.
It's by Jason Safe and the Walk Walk Council, and it's really sick. And it's also like a writing play. It's awesome. They were on
WOK?
WAQ, WAQ. And so they were on Nifty Culture to talk about the project the other day, and it was awesome. And I'm a big fan. I don't own one. I tried to get in on the first one. Of course, I couldn't get it. Then the people that own the first one had first dibs on the second one. But I'll definitely ape in if I can make some decent sales for sure.
This is another one. You're in that collection where there's hundreds of the same thing. One last thing, actually, that we should mention real quick. I'm also going to have to go in a few minutes also, so this timing is perfect, which is
Lost Poets.
No, well, Lost Poets is one example of it. That's definitely one. And then also 888 Inner Circle just got its first airdrop. And so I saw in here trending on the nifty.com. I was looking at trending sales earlier today, and I saw that there was 888 Inner Circle. The drops is what it's called. Those showed up for free if you had one of them, and the floor price is 0.4.
Wow.
0.39 is actually what it is. Now
this one, yeah.
Yes.
Malavita misspelled.
Number
one Malavita misspelled.
That's how she spells it, the artist.
Oh, okay. Well, Malavita is an actual artist. I didn't know. Okay, cool. Well, this is interesting.
Do you think it's actually spelled wrong?
No. I just mean because like a historical artist is named Malavita.
Got it. Yeah, this person went with a different version. I don't know about this design. I'm like, for real? Like this is it? But the people are using it as the border for their profile photo, which is the first one. So it's pretty clever.
That's actually pretty sick. Wow.
So
I mean, it's original. Doing anything original is challenging. Like, look at our show. Our show is completely unoriginal, right? We're just doing what everybody else does.
Unoriginal? Get out of here.
And we're at our 45-minute cap. I know you got to go. I know I got to go. Everybody, thanks for watching. This is the Nifty Alpha. This is the extension.
That was an abrupt ending right there. You're like, well, we're out of time. You're like, yeah, this is a profile photo. So that's it for today. We are completely done with this show. Looked at my clock. We're going to wrap it up. All right. I guess we're wrapping it up. Sorry, guys. If you were interested in continuing NFT dialogue, it's about to end. It's literally ending. So we actually just went over 4 seconds over the 45-minute time frame. Violation. Pio is going to be fined for this one.
Well, I knew that you had to wrap, and I have to wrap. I promise. We're gonna figure out a way to do this and have it stretched out. But everyone, look, this is an extension of the Nifty Alpha morning Twitter NFT Spaces trade talk hosted by Nick, sophisticated art speculator, and myself. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. You can check me out on Nifty Culture YouTube. Nifty Culture is my brand that I'm a partner in. You can buy the token that we're selling as well on the secondary market. It has appreciated from the drop price. Nick is the owner of the Nifty.com, where you can do what, Nick?
Well, you can't buy an NFT yet, but watch out for that. In terms of what does it do? Well, it's free data. Like, what the hell are you doing? Just go to the site, Google it. Now you don't even need to enter your email to access it. So literally no one's signing up for the site. They're just going and accessing it for free because I made it completely free for you to go and check it out. What it has is the NFT index at the top of the page, the latest sales volume, the latest unit volume, trending projects, top minting projects. You can view what's going on in the market at a glance in seconds. Why aren't you going to the site? Like, you're an idiot if you don't do it. But what you need to do is also fill in your email right under the chart there. Click submit, sign up for the email list, because every day it's going to surface those projects directly to your inbox. Crafted, delivered to you.
Unbelievable. The Nifty.com. Everyone, thanks for watching on Twitter. We want to put this on YouTube, and we will. It'll be live stream on Twitter. I mean, on YouTube and Twitter, but on YouTube too in the near future. Thanks so much for watching. This was the Nifty Alpha.
Great show, Pio.